All right, y'all. Speaking of messy, Nicki Minaj is suing gossip blogger Marley Green, who goes by the name Nosey Heaux, for defamation and is seeking $75,000 in damages because Green alleged that Nicki has a drug problem. Green claims Nicki was shoving all this cocaine up her nose. That's her words. Green said, "We all know it's true. Bleep. Listen, I can't even say allegedly with that because we know it's true. I'm not saying allegedly on that." She also said, Green said Nicki Minaj is a cokehead. Her husband is a rapist. We all saw that. I covered that for weeks. All right, y'all. This has been all over the internet, and I got people sending me stuff on this as well. What are your thoughts on Nicki's lawsuit? Al, let's start with you. You think
Well, you know what? The internet is saying that she was up 48 hours tweeting, and they feel like that maybe there was some type of drug use involved in that. But let me tell you something. The interesting thing for me to see is how these rappers, these female rappers, aren't taking it from these bloggers anymore, and they are suing them like Cardi B and Tasha K. Now, Nicki did say on her podcast, and this is the hot tea, on her podcast Saturday, that she is going to be suing 3 bloggers, and we saw that this one just braked, but she also mentioned Hollywood Unlocked and what's his Armand Wiggins, according to the internet. I think there's going to be a change in how these celebrities continue to take this crap that these bloggers are putting out on them, and I think, Cardi B was the one that led this force.
Okay, she did kick it off. Q, what do you think about this?
So, it's 2 things that come to mind. Number one, the first thing that comes to mind was I felt like the amount was too small, especially after we're seeing, let me back up, not that I want anybody to be sued for millions of dollars. It just baffled me that she was only suing for 75 when Tasha K was sued for, millions. That was number one. Number two, as a YouTuber, blogger of about 13 years now, this was my biggest concern coming off the heels of the Cardi B Tasha K thing. There was a world once upon a time where we used to be able to give our opinions and our whatever, and talk freely. That was the fun thing about the internet. But it's starting to feel like now the internet space is about to really get buttoned up like network TV, which will take some of the fun out of it. But I think there's something else that's interesting that we must mention about this Nosey Heaux person. We can't forget that she also interviewed the lady that Kenneth Petty was convicted of. So this is less to do, in my opinion, about the cokehead allegations. I think that's just an in that Nicki is looking for, and more to do with she is upset with anybody who provides a platform to that woman who her husband was convicted of raping. And so I don't know. For me, it seems like Nicki is becoming a little bit unhinged because as the FOXSOUL viewers checked me in the comments last week when we kept saying allegedly, he was convicted of it. He is a convicted rapist. There's no allegedly about it. That's what the tea is. And the courts found him guilty. That lady has the right to tell her story, Nicki, and you can't get mad at people for providing her a platform. It's not our fault that your husband married you and this story becomes a story because of your celebrity. That's not our fault. That's yours.
I think Nicki's gonna have a problem with these the slander lawsuit for being called a cokehead. Now, she did say some things about her son, which were cool. So there was a guy, I was just trying to look through my Instagram right now, that sent me a video of another blogger that did a deep dive. And he pulled up interviews, Nicki on her lives, where she was taking questions. And she said, "Oh, if you want to know my drug of choice, listen to my music." Then he went and played clips of her from her songs that said, in Tokyo, getting Kokio, stuff like that. Talking about powder and sniffing. You don't have to believe me. You can go on YouTube and look it up. I will find his name and I'll put it in my story and y'all can see it for yourself and then you guys can decide. So I think that's going to be a little bit tricky because she's on lives and on record basically admitting to it. So I don't know how much of a case you have to slander with that.
And let me be very honest with the people. Y'all please do not be naive. Cocaine is the drug of choice in Hollywood. It is more widespread and more rampantly used than you know. All right. If I could give y'all the tea, y'all already know my tea, honey. I ain't gonna never sit up and act like I ain't never did it. Because there's like 4 years worth of blogs spraying all my business in the streets. But I gave my life to God and I checked, okay? Because I'm doing what? Unlocking my better self. But baby, if I tell y'all some of the people that I don't got high with, okay? Because let me tell you something, baby, I don't got high with some of the best of them. If I tell you some of the people I don't got high with, you really would be surprised. But I'm gonna save that for my memoir, or at least wait till they die before I tell all their business.
So basically, it's a lot more common than we.
It is very common in Hollywood.
Yeah, maybe that's why they.
So much so to the point where it really isn't that big of a deal. Like, right. I mean, that literally is how widespread and common it is.
Well, we will definitely keep you guys updated on what happens, what transpires with that.